Hi, this is Glenn with Crimson Lotus Tea. Today we are brewing Jingmai LOVE. It's this cake right here. I like this cake. This is Jingmai. Love Jingmai. I'm actually a really big fan of Jingmai in general. Jingmai is in the southwest corner of Yunnan province. Jingmai is right on the border of Burma, Myanmar, and yeah, we can take a look at this. Take a look at this cake here. Very nice, very green. This is a blend. This is another blend that we put together. Spring 2016 material, and it is entirely composed of Jingmai area. So yeah, Jingmai's been around for quite a while. They have a very long history of with puerh, and probably more so than any other area that we go to, any other mountain that we work with. The people in Jingmai are incredibly focused on quality of the tea material and just the preservation of the tea culture and the tea trees themselves. I won't say that tea is a religion for them, but it's probably about as close as you're gonna find anywhere. You find it just natively in each of the people that live there. There's a strong sense of creating quality products and just preservation of the tea trees. And it's interesting. It's actually refreshing. Some places in Yunnan get a little bit focused on more on the money aspect of the trees at the detriment to the money aspect of the tea at the detriment to the quality, the long-term quality of the trees, and that is very unfortunate actually. But Jingmai is amazing. Jingmai is on the edge of being considered a part of UNESCO to be a World Heritage Site for beverage production. It would be the, as far as I know, the first tea one in the world. There's some for coffee, there's some for wine. No place I know of that would be better deserving of it than they would. Jingmai is incredible. Jingmai has a lot of really awesome old growth forests, just really impressive area. And it's nice. I really enjoy getting the chance to visit there anytime we can, and which is usually once a year. We get a chance to head down to Jingmai, and it is a little bit. It's not too far away. Maybe half a day's drive, 4 or 5 hours. You can be there from Munghai if you're in the Munghai area. I think you can even take a bus or a taxi and stuff out there. The thing for me that really does it for Jingmai is the aroma. Check out the leaves right here. Jingmai is an intensely aromatic teas. There's often really strong honey notes. That's the thing that really gets to me. Kind of like could be described as orchid or even like a honeysuckle. It's really gorgeous aromas can come out of a quality Jingmai material. So this is we have three. We have 3 teas that we sell from Jingmai. We have our Midas Touch. That was the very first blend that we did, the very first, and that's Midas Touch that's our big tree material from Jingmai. It's a little bit more expensive. Those cakes are $85 a cake, and we wanted to create and construct a kind of like a budget Jingmai cake. And that's where we came up with this one last year, a special blend to try and keep it as affordable as possible. And this is nice. Maybe a little bit of like a vitamin C note in there or something. So yeah, Jingmai LOVE. It's our more affordable Jingmai material, and so it's about half the price of the other one. And it's still quite quite nice, quite delicious. And we just kind of wanted to have more of an introductory, like, hey, this is Jingmai, this is what Jingmai can do without kind of breaking the bank, because there's some pretty awesome material in Jingmai, but it can certainly come at a price. Our other Jingmai material is Planet Jingmai, the little tiny tea balls. The first tea balls that we did. And that material is just incredible. That is just if you've not had a chance to try Planet Jingmai is just hands down probably one of the best Jingmais I've ever tasted. It's also significantly expensive, so for people who are on a budget, Planet Jingmai would roughly equate to be about $150 for a 200-gram cake. We sell it in tea-ball, so it makes it a little bit more affordable. But if you're looking for a pretty good approximation on a budget, you can certainly get that with Jingmai LOVE. Yeah, it's good. And first steeping is we still got a lot of color in it. This tea's not even a year old. It's pretty close. Almost it's spring 2017 when I'm filming this, and so this was picked and processed in 2016 spring, and it's got some good depth to it. I enjoy this tea a lot. When we were putting this blend together, what I was hoping to do is to try to capture a lot of what I really enjoyed about Jingmai, and like I already said, primarily the aroma. So this is going to be a very aromatic tea. It definitely has a little bit of just a little bit of bitterness and astringency. It's not going to be a very strong tea. It's not going to be very aggressive, but it can certainly has more depth to it. That's one thing that I'm looking for in a blend, or even like a quality puerh. One thing I'm looking for is something that has a really good balance. And you can, I describe it similar to lemonade. You could have lemon water or lemon juice. It's going to be really bitter. Nobody's going to want to drink just straight lemon juice. You can also have sugar water. Sugar water is very cloying. It's just thick. It's not enjoyable to drink, pure sugar water. But when you mix those two together, you get something that's really amazing. They completely balance each other out. And like lemonade, hot summer day, lemonade's amazing. A puerh should be something like that as well. You should have a balance of things. You should have a sweetness that's counteracted with a bitterness, and bitterness that rewards you with a sweetness. And that may come, it may not be a sweetness that's in the mouth. It may actually come afterwards in the aftertaste. But it's definitely something. It's definitely something to look for. You can have interesting experiences, interesting singular experiences with other teas that may be something enjoyable. But to have something truly special, you're going to want to have a balance. You want to have pros and cons working in with each other. And so for this blend, that's kind of what we were hoping for, and what I feel we actually did. So all the material in here is probably smaller trees, small arbor trees, Xiao Qiao Mu, trees under 100 years old. In Jingmai, these would be called ecological. That would be the translation. Ecological means that these trees were allowed to grow as part of the forest, but they are managed. So they are managed and they are grown. They're not old wild growth trees. Jingmai in the past tried to do the tea garden single crop mountain thing. You see pictures from other places where it's just like row after row after row after row of like bushes, people picking the trees. They tried to do that in the past, but like I said, they're very pragmatic about quality, and the tea was not as good, and they made the really hard decision to cull significant portions of these tea gardens that they had invested in, as much as 80%, pull out 80% of the tea bushes and trees that were growing there and start planting in a forest. And they realized that the real tea that they loved is the stuff that they grew up with, which is these old growth trees that are grown as an active part of the forest. And they realized that that's what made their tea special. And it's also a little bit of an environmental help to the local mountains. They started getting soil erosion, and things weren't, ecologically weren't as, environmentally weren't as good in these places where they had single crop gardens. And so they made that decision, and that was a hard decision because it's not a good financial decision. They were making money from it, but it wasn't a quality product. So they culled 80% of it and started growing in forest, growing in the trees and the other stuff that grows in that area. And now what they sell as ecological is the stuff that resulted in these experiments that they've done in the past. So these are forest grown material that's still fairly young, fairly young trees relatively. I mean, under 100 years old. Still, it's still significant, and it's good. It's really nice. There's some really awesome material, and the aromas in these cakes will develop more over the years of storage. It's a little bit thicker at this point. See if we can actually see it. A little bit more of the bitterness and astringency is coming out now. It still has like that sweetness to balance it. See if we can look at the leaves. These are nice big full leaves as well. This isn't chopped grade stuff. It's still kind of yeah. It's nice to be able to open up your leaves and investigate them, see them, check them out. Look at what you're actually drinking. It's certainly educational. All the teas that we pick and process should look really nice. This is a loose pressed cake, opposite to our something like our Space Girls or Cats, which have been really heavily compressed. Those ones, it's a little trickier to open these up. Or open those up. These ones are fairly loosely pressed, roughly similar to a stone pressing. When you have a tea pressed in a factory setting, I say factory because it's not like the Western idea of a factory, massive smokestacks and pollution and stuff. That's what we think of when we see factory. The Chinese word for factory can mean anything from like a workshop up to like an actual automotive industrial factory. So the term factory is sometimes misleading. So the factory, in quotes, where we press our material. It's used as a hydraulic press to do the pressing. This material it's weighed and steamed in bags, and then initially pressed inside of a hydraulic press, and then weighted under stone. So it's not a traditional straight stone pressing, but you're allowed to control exactly like where you want that compression level to be. You could go for anywhere from like it's ready to fall apart compression all the way up to like straight Shaoguan level iron cake, which would probably block a bullet or something like that. It's really heavily dense. Sometimes it's so dense it feels like you can almost like ring it like a bell. I look at I want something around 60%. That's kind of where I'm going for. So a little bit closer in compression level to a traditional stone pressing, but enough compression that it kind of can seal in some of the stuff for the long term, but make it easier to open and press open in brew in the short term. And that's Jingmai LOVE. It's nice. It's developing a couple little traditional sheng, kind of like a barnyard type aromas right now. Some like a little hay and alfalfa. It's pretty nice, and it'll be interesting to see what this tea does in aging over the years. So this is Jingmai LOVE. It's available on our site. It's crimsonlotustea.com. You can if you've had this tea before, feel free to comment in the comments below. Let me know what you think of it. Also, if you have other ideas about other videos that we can do, let us know. Post in the comments below, and I'll answer the questions and see what we can do. Thanks for checking it out. Happy steeping.